clearly a different match to what we saw from the last ladies match, where the girls took it to each other in a heated battle from the very get-go. These gentlemen are taking a precise approach.
Yeah, you're right. I think that's been perhaps the one criticism, if you will, across MLPA Australia, for example, with maybe the girls taking a little bit more time to get into that flow of the match as opposed to just going hell for leather straight away.
Yeah, it's one of those things that, you know, depending on your environment, your conditions, the way the ball moves, the surface you're playing on. We're on the pickleball here indoors. The ball really does grab on this surface. And it is a little bit slower than what it might be on a typical outdoor pickleball surface.
And of course, utilising the Franklin X40. Now, Maximilian Wild serving that one in. Joey up to meet it. Oh, right down the line. Great recovery from Maximilian, but then smacking down.
Finding that volley very cleanly off the paddle. A lot of power behind that stroke.
It's a nice mix so far, strategy and power. Joey once more looking to just navigate through the middle there. Oh, lovely placement from Maximilian. Again, just precariously tipping it over. And then Joey stepping up.
Coming across with the backhand flick, finding that mark on the line. Both these boys of Navratil and Wild really pairing up nicely for a combination.
Worth mentioning as well, Brad, obviously limited lead-in time as well to try and prepare for this particular tournament, being all the way over the other side of the Atlantic. Oh, and that's nice as well.
Yeah, you're right, James. It's interesting to find a natural pattern or rhythm when you come up with a partner who you've not spent much court time with. But these boys don't seem to be having much trouble in terms of finding the pattern of play that works for them best. As we start dink rally here, Joey Wild just loose ball off the backhand dink. Paddle angle just a little open.
Nice deep serve there as well from Maximilian Wild. Now a chance for Joey to really bring the smack down. I'll just get that back over the net.
Reset.
Well, how about that for athleticism there, Brad?
That was a very athletic manoeuvre.
Well, that's one that you watch and you start to think at on the age of 30, maybe the hip pops out of place.
Yeah, I can't say I know what that feels like yet, but I know that's not far away, perhaps. Playing in the Masters myself, it's a lot more risk involved every time we step out on the court.
Look at someone who wakes up pretty sore out of bed every day. I can tell you now, it's already hitting me.
The ATP, beautifully found there on the toes.
Outstanding from Joey Wild, just squeezing it around the side of the net in the court. It's a good start here from both sides.
That ball just sailing wide. James, both teams are using a good combination of power and control in their construction of the points at the moment, moving each other around nicely as that speed up from Joey Wild just sails long.
Yeah, nice little changes of tempo. Really using the full width of the court we saw with that last point for Joey, of course, just squeezing it around the side of the net and inside the court. So 3-1 they currently lead. Joey now on serve. That one's a bit of a shallow one. Nice little flick on, so good recovery there.
Yeah, Joey saw the speed up opportunity off the backhand side, down the middle, aiming at the hip of his opponent.
Cut there, centre of court from Maximilian, and then Bacalla with a nice little slam right towards the net, but that'll still go the way of Joey and Zane here. So Wild and Navratil up 5-1.
Navratil just on the back foot there, trying to dig that dink out. A little off balance, opening up the paddle face, not quite getting the lift he needed.
Now pick up a point there as well, so I needed that, Brad.
Yeah, a little confidence booster from the combination of Wild, Bacalla.
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 A lovely little chip back over the net there. Now, cat and mouse game between the two Wild boys at the moment. Maximilian trying to get the better of Joey here. Thinking towards the corner. But ultimately, Joey wins out.
Joey coming up trumps on that battle. James, it's very interesting to see the cross-court dink lasting so long. Yep, that one going long. It's usually a case of preventing or avoiding predictability when it comes to dink rallies and continuing to push your player, your opponent, cross-court. Throwing in the mix up for a speed up can often be the key to getting the point into your favour or creating the unforced error, as we saw.
Lovely fine Joey Wild winning out on that one. Is it fair to say as well, though, Brad, there's perhaps a little bit of nervous tension still here in the early stages of this one. We're coming into quarterfinals, and maybe that's why we're seeing a fair bit of this cross-court, short-range attacks.
Yeah, absolutely. The boys are feeling each other out at the moment and just trying to understand or discover what might be an elusive weakness.
Still very tight at the moment, though. 5-4 here with Navratil now on serve. Just towards that no volley zone. Wild, oh, great recovery there. Now speeds it up, Navratil as well, and then Wild.
Unbelievably punching hard at the net. Both teams really bringing the heat.
Wild by name, wild by nature there, Brad.
Yeah.
Oh,
and the forehand drive down the centre. The boys might have thought that was sailing long, but it ultimately dropped or dipped into the baseline.
It's one that you could put a microscope on and only just clip the baseline. Once again, there's that cross-court shot from Maximilian Wild.
Speed up from Joey Wild down the middle, finding the gap there. That was that unpredictability that we were talking about just
Get ready, Pickleball fans. The PPA Tour is bringing the action to you. Whether you love to play or watch, this is your chance to experience pickleball at its best. Mark your calendars for our next tour stops. Tucson, Arizona, February 5th to February 9th. Mesa, Arizona, February 17th to February 23rd. Cape Coral, Florida, March 5th to March 9th. Don't miss your chance to experience the thrill. Watch the pros, cheer up for your favorites, register to play, and buy your tickets now at ppatour.com.
See some signalling happening from the combo of Wild Bacalla. So we'll look out for the switches.
So picking up here at 8-4 with Navratil on serve. Oh, Wild, lovely angle there. And then Navratil.
Beautifully. Full control of that placement.
Well, typically we see Wild and Navratil in the opening exchange. See a split right down the middle. That was right through the middle of the legs, though.
Talk about finding your mark.
Control here from Maximilian Wild. Now, once more, that cross-court action between himself and Joey.
The ATP finding the net post that time.
He's had success there already so far, Joey, so going back to the well. Not quite getting it right this time, though. Second serve now. A steep return from Maximilian.
Right at the toes.
So game point brought up here for Joey Wild and St. Navratil. Best of three, of course.
You can see Max Wild just keeping the ball deep at Joey's toes, hoping for the pop-up opportunity, but didn't need to put one away.
Plenty of movement on that ball in flight too from Maximilian. Kept alive here from Joey.
Great hands from all four players. You see how quickly the momentum changes in a point where the combination of Wild and Bacalla seem to be putting the pressure on there at the net exchange. They were forced back on the back foot.
Good opportunity here now for
the
Wild
tweener.
and Navratil. That was classy from Maximilian Wild. Bacalla just over the top. Oh, lovely work from Joey
Beautiful
Wild.
counter there from Joey.
Fair to say, Brad, so far he's been the star of these four.
He's certainly seen the ball nicely, reading it well off his paddle, watch his opponent's positioning.
Navratil hemmed deep into the court momentarily. Now back into the edge of that kitchen. Oh, and then acrobatic from Bacalla as well.
Looking for the earning opportunity, hoping for the pop-up. Got himself back in court pretty quickly, though. The boys having a joke about that.
Well, for our
Maneuver.
Aussie viewers, that was like watching someone taking a cricket catch on the boundary and having to hop back in time. That's there, now completed for game one. So
uncharacteristic. Unforced error there from Joey.
pretty much the first thing we've seen him get wrong so far in
Yeah, I
this game.
think that might be the first unforced error.
Nice placement there again from Maximilian Wild, who's been happy to do these little cross-court dinks so far.
Ooh, the dig from Navratil not quite coming off.
Tough one to deal with, awkward height.
Yeah, Bacalla really put it down low towards his ankles. A little wide.
Start here to the second game though for them, up 2-0.
Oh,
Joey with a
beautiful.
wonderful angle there.
Nice shape on that forehand cross-court dink. Really pushing it wide, taking his opponent out of court. Full stretch.
So one serve now, down by 2 in game 2, but having won the first game. Navratil shifting towards Maximilian Wild on that left-hand side.
Yeah, really pushing hard on his backhand. Putting the pressure on, understanding that Max is engaging in the cross-court dink and he's banking on that to continue before he creates an opportunity for a speed up or a flick. Here we go again. High ball,
Oh, Wild accelerating and then bringing the smack down.
no mistake.
Is there perhaps a little bit of an over-reliance at the moment from Maximilian in particular for those little cross-court dinks? Would you like to see a bit more variation,
Yeah,
Brad?
I think we just saw a little glimpse of it in that last point. The cross-court dink engagement began and then we saw him create an opportunity and went face on with Joey in the dink rally, just mixing it up, and I think that's what's going to be the difference in whether they can get back into this match.
Oh, Bacalla once more responding in the best
That's
possible fashion.
been called
Joey
out.
Wild.
It's been called out. We're
Yeah, you're right there, Brad. It's only just missed the mark. Millimetres in it. That's all it takes. So 3-2.
there it is. Loose ball off that backhand dink cross court. That's the one that they're waiting for.
Yeah, just far too high on that occasion there from Maximilian Wild. Right into the zone there for Joey.
Yeah, and as I mentioned, it would be interesting to see if he continues that pattern of play because he's really been challenged on that cross-court dink.
You have to wonder what the discussion was during that timeout that they called in game 1. It hasn't really shifted the course of momentum so far. There's another point on the board for Wild and Navratil. 5-2 now, so they're closing in on the match. Semi-final berth awaiting.
Yeah, I expect to see Joey put the pressure down now and pedal to the metal and try and really pull away. Case in point, they are seeing the ball, creating every opportunity, really constructing the point now.
At one point, 5-4, but then they really pulled away, and despite a good start in this second game.
Then let's not discount the boys from Australia, Max Wild and Bacalla. They certainly are giving it to Joey and Zane.
Just see there as well, Brad, a little bit of frustration starting to creep in on the faces of both Maximilian and also Dave. Can be such a mental game at times.
And this is the difference.
much better for them though.
I'll be happy with that. That'll be a little vote of confidence on the behalf of Maximilian and Dave. They're still talking. They're still comfortable in terms of delivering the right shot routines. It's just a matter of their opponents are responding very, very quickly with their counters, their resets, their speed ups. They are just a little step ahead.
2-7-2.
Still getting points on the board though as Wild drives this one deep, and here's once more, probably the only other uncharacteristic error we've seen. That might be, I think, just his second one now.
Maybe the second unforced error from Joey. As we
That
see
one's
that
long there
serve
too.
go long off the paddle of Maximilian Wild. Zane Navratil on serve at 7-3. Let's see if they're going to put the gas down. Quick point, long ball return.
8-3 now, not too far away. Navratil once more will look to drive this one deep. Quick serve. And they're just their own worst enemies at the moment, Brad.
Yeah, they're just getting a little caught up, a little tight.
9-3-1.
They need a result here. They need to stop the flow of points. That's better from Maximilian. Surviving a pretty intense shot there from Wild back down the middle.
The overhead. That's wide. He'll be disappointed with the shot selection. Was a good idea. Both Zane and Joey were up close on that, pushing forward on that kitchen line. The lob is a good idea in that scenario.
Match point now brought up though. That's gone wide, and that'll be enough to claim it. So onto the semi-finals, Joey Wild and Zane Navratil march. And I mean, a pretty comprehensive performance, really, Brad.
Yeah, they certainly kept